About a month ago, I opened my Steam store page and a certain game caught my eye. And better yet, it was free. Now, only an insane person would pass up on a free game, so the second I saw it, I added it to my library. And that game was a PSX-style horror game developed by students at the University of Utah called Wretched, which is, get this, about fishing. Now, I don't play that many fishing games, and I don't really play that many horror games either, for that matter. But a horror game about fishing is just such an odd pairing. I mean, how could something so calm and serene be scary? But I'm a sucker for retro graphics and indie games about, fishing. So let's dive right into it. Get it? Because, water and fishing, like there's so... Yeah, you get it. We start the game and we're met by this lovely start menu and get to start our new game. Everything down to the file selection has a great retro feel, and the screen is even flashing red. Well, I'm sure that's not foreshadowing anything. We choose our difficulty, and I'm great at video games, so I choose normal. Are you proud of me? And then the game opens up in a van with our character driving down a dark road, talking about how he just got some fishing gear from our dad, and it's kind of reminding me a lot of games like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. Now it'd be a great time for that weird cat thing to ask us what our favorite kind of pie is. The text is also kind of ominous. Something like this? Dots? We then arrive in the town of Twin Pines, which I'm assuming is taking inspiration from Twin Peaks, which, confession, I've never seen, but I think I get the gist.
Whoa, nice graphics!
The art style and soundtrack are really something amazing. I'm playing music from the OST all throughout this video so you get an idea of how great it is, but I'd really recommend checking it out on your own. I'll put links in the description. I'm a bit too young for the PS1 era of games, but it's still something I really appreciate and even feel a little bit nostalgia over. We then come across Mike's bait and stuff, which kind of reminds me of something. We go inside and meet this Mike character, and he gives us directions to Lake Imperium. So we drive to the lake and it's finally time to go fishing in our fishing game. I don't know why there's a no swimming sign, but I'm sure that can't be indicative of anything wrong with the lake. The fishing aspect of this game is, it's video game fishing. There's not too much to say about it, but it has an alright level of challenge while still being really easy to understand, even without reading all the way through the tutorial. And guess what? We managed to catch a bass. After catching some more fish, we get ready to head back into town, ready to sell the cooler full of fish we have, but not before exploring the lake a little bit. There's two graveyards, one is fenced in for, a good reason? I hope not. And the thick layer of fog around the lake just makes everything a little bit more ominous. But the game isn't really, scary yet. We head back to town and sell our fish to Mike. We don't have enough for the new fishing gear we want, so the next day I catch some more fish and buy a Sharky and a carbon rod. Mike also says that there's some other fishermen around the lake that I could talk to for tips, so we drive back to the lake and continue our fishing journey. And oh look, there's another fisherman. Why did he jump in the water? And why is he so tall and gangly? He looks like something not human. I want to test out my new rod, so, what are those? Why is there a massive hole in the fish we caught? And what the actual f*** is a parasitic globfish? There's also this, demon pit that, has these things in it. I don't really... This is about where the game starts to show its horror side and get actually creepy, so we catch a few more of these, mutated fish things and go back to town to sell them. But get this, Mike won't buy them! I mean, there's not that much wrong with them. So we go outside and there's this shady guy in an alley who will buy them, unlike Mike. Hand them over now? Scram? This guy seems like kind of a douchebag, but hey, at least he'll buy our totally normal fish that Mike wouldn't. Screw you, Mike. After catching some more of these fish things, I went for a bit more of an explore around the lake and found this abandoned cabin with these tape recorders. Something about blah blah disappearances and drifters with no friends or families. Talk about a sick burn. We go back to Mike to buy our next lure, and he says something about stuff going on at the graveyard at night. Now, I'm no genius, but I know there can't be anything good in a graveyard at night in this spooky town, but you know what, I'm gonna go anyways, because I want content for this video. And it's not a horror game without horror. Nope. And I think that was the first time I was genuinely scared in this game. I didn't like that, but in a good way. Now this is a point in the game where the weird mutated fish become a very noticeable aspect, and the deeper you go in the lake, the weirder and more bizarre the fish get. I mean, look at this one, it takes up the entire screen. I also just noticed these birds with eyes as heads, and did the entire sky just turn red, or is that just a sunset? And oh, I think I know what that red flashing in the beginning was foreshadowing. Now, I'm not going to spoil the ending of the game because I'd really recommend you play it for yourself, but I think you get the idea that there's something more to all of this, and the ending is definitely worth it. The whole game only took me like an hour to beat and was really engaging all throughout, and did I mention it's free? A horror game about fishing is just such an interesting idea, and I'm really excited to see what the developers do in the future. Anyways, that was the video. This is my first real attempt at making these kinds of videos that I've really always wanted to do since I was a little kid. I'm trying to go for a bit of a PBG, AVGN, JonTron, LGR type thing, and I'm really looking forward to improving and doing bigger and better things. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, please subscribe, like, dislike, comment, share, really anything to boost engagement and really give me the motivation to dedicate more time to making these because it was a fun process. Anyway, boy.